Señor Lucas, ya vamos a empezar.
Ok, yo estoy listo.
Colocamos una imagen de fondo para usted alusiva a la historia.
Muy bien, bueno, confío en ustedes.
¿Listo, señor? Escena 1, plano 1, toma 8.
Action.
Me cuesta expresar un poco lo que sucedió ese día tan especial. Fue el mejor día de mi vida. Con esa personita que me acompaña todos los días en un viaje fascinante, increíble, maravilloso y soñado. Eres tan fuerte y valiente, inteligente y gigante. Eres gigante porque eres mujer. ¿Tú sabías eso?
Papá, ahora sí creo que me voy. Y estoy lista. Quiero irme. Prepara todo de nuevo, papá.
Tienes que pilotear. Ella estaba muy débil. Sin embargo, sabía que podía viajar dentro de ella. Ya estábamos listos para la gran aventura que nos esperaba.
T-minus 15 seconds. T-minus 10.
Pilot Lucas to Captain Clarisa. The ship is all yours. We are inside.
Ready for takeoff. Operator Dad, ready for takeoff, Houston.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engine start and liftoff.
There is a lot of vibration, Captain. Lot of vibration!
Careful, Dad, please.
Ay, hija, perdón. I'm so sorry, Captain.
Okay, Copan. We're moving in.
All right.
T plus 60 seconds. Altitude 5.5 kilometers. Speed 250 meters per second. Downrange distance 0.9 kilometers.
Oh, wow. We have arrived at Copilot Lucas. This place is really amazing. You can see it.
Well, Captain, I'm not sure.
But how come you're not sure? You're looking at something as majestic as this place. It is unique and deep, so bright and infinite. It is as if love itself had created. I feel part of this, part of the whole. I am this is co-pilot.
Talk to me, Captain. Keep going, please.
I'm on the table. I'm on the table. And unconditional. I am the sick creation. We are.
We are what? Captain. Captain! Captain, please! Don't leave me, please. Don't leave me. Wow. Now I can see it. This is wonderful and infinite. And this is beautiful like you. Adiós, hija. Y gracias por este maravilloso viaje. Capitán.
Solo somos. Regresé, papá, y aunque mi cuerpo siempre estuvo aquí, fui a ese lugar y regresé. Me siento muy bien. Y sigo conectada con esa inmensidad.
Solo sé que estaba parada allí frente a mí, sana, muy sana. Y también sé que encontró ese universo que nos conecta. Ese universo donde todo es posible.
So we just watched the film Life Reborn, directed by Marcel Barragán, and we are so excited to have director Marcel Barragán with us, along with the producer Jose. And we are so thankful for our special guest, all the way from Los Angeles, Govindini Murty. And before we talk about the film, I will let everybody introduce themselves. Please introduce yourself and tell our viewers which city you are logging in from. I'll start with Marcel, and then Jose, and then Govindini.
Yes, well, thank you very much for this invitation. We are proud to be part of you. And well, it's a great activity. Stay here together. This is this movie is very important. And I feel the same emotion each time that I can see that. Well, was a very fast work for trying to reason for deadline because we had only 16 days to do this work before the deadline, and we don't have script, crew, money. So, I remember very much when I called Jose and we had that conversation. Hey, look, this is a call from NASA. What do you think? So I remember very much when he said, well, he said, if you need time, so okay, let's go for the script. Okay, the script. So we wrote in 3 days. And well, we call it so a few friends, professional friends in that cinematographic area. So all they say, yes, okay, let's go to do it. The money is not matter. Let's go to do because it's wow, it's called from NASA. So well, we did in only 13 days, 3 filming days, 2 locations. Well, without pre-production, so it was very fast. It's not the idea.
So you did it in 13 days. I mean, that's a very short time span to do such high quality film. You know, it's very concise. It's beautifully presented. And I have a lot of questions around that. Were you always a filmmaker, Marcel? Did you do more films in the past?
Yes, I had theater films in Venezuela, and I won a prize.
Okay.
Yes, and I did 2 short films.
Okay.
More, 3, sorry. And well, in that moment, we was working in another project. The name is My Name is President. So in that moment, we was looking for financial money. So well, we stopped that project for Life Reborn, and we are here. Thanks to this work, we have 44 laurels.
I want to know more about the film. First of all, I'm sorry to interrupt. The audio is a little bit low on this side. Can we do an audio check with everybody? Govindini, how is the audio on your side?
Well, I can hear you very well, but I'm afraid Jose and Marcel, it's very muffled and faint, so I can't quite. I'm getting about half of what they're saying. And I'm
Yeah, we're
interested.
missing
I
out.
want to hear more.
Yeah, do you have a microphone or do you want to come closer? We just want to make sure that the audio is strong.
Give me a chance.
Okay.
I'm
So
sorry.
while
There's wind in the background.
Sorry, the issue here is that it's raining very, very hard.
It's like a storm.
It's like a storm here.
Okay.
Oh, it
And
sounds like
Panama is like that. It's a tropical country, and you never know when it will be raining like this. So we need to switch to another technology in order
Okay.
to improve the audio. Okay?
Okay, so if you have a lapel mic, maybe it'll help. So while Jose sets up, I'll let Govindini introduce herself and where she's from, and then I'll introduce myself and also the film festival. So Govindini, it's all yours.
Oh, thank you very much for having me, Samita. I really appreciate it. And I very much enjoyed the film. Really just beautiful work, Jose and Marcel. Congratulations. Well, I'm in Los Angeles. And in terms of where I'm from, I'm sort of from a number of places. I'm half Indian and half Canadian. Grew up in India. Then I moved to Canada, lived there a number of years, came down to the US for college, married my husband, who's from Los Angeles, and have settled here ever since. Oh, and I lived a year in Malaysia as well as a teenager. So from a number of different places. But yes, I'm a writer and filmmaker. My pieces on film and science and technology have been published in The Atlantic and the Huffington Post, places like that. And I'm also a filmmaker. My short film UFO Diary a few years ago featured a lot of special effects by Weta Digital and ILM, and it was a World War II sci-fi short that my husband Jason Puzzo directed and that I acted in and produced, and we really enjoyed that. It's like a World War II about two women's Army Corps officers who fight off an alien invasion of LA, inspired by a true mysterious incident. And seriously, I mean, unexplained. So quite literally, it is an unexplained flying phenomenon. I don't actually believe in flying saucers, but it was a real incident early in World War II here in LA. So that was really fun making that. And I'm just a huge fan of NASA. That's why I enjoyed seeing your film so much today, Marcel and Jose. Living in Los Angeles, I made many visits to the Jet Propulsion Laboratory and have attended a lot of events there, and a wonderful NASA social, gone to the clean room, mission control, the Mars yard. I've actually had the opportunity to meet some of the people in the footage that you feature in your film. So that
oh my gosh, this is very special.
Yes, and in mission control. I really enjoyed seeing some familiar faces there. And that's something I would actually just add is that, there's so many NASA centers all over America where the public can go and attend events and go to socials. And, if you love space science, you don't have to just think it's some distant thing. You have to only be a scientist or an engineer to enjoy it. If you're a lay person, you can absolutely go and sign up for events. You can put your name on a spacecraft, like the Mars sample return spacecraft. You can put your name on there and have your name on Mars. You can take part in so many ways of space missions by just learning about them. And so I'm very, very inspired by that. I love space exploration. I love real science. I love sci-fi. And I love good stories featuring women. So those are all things that really engage me. And I'm just so pleased to see your film today, Jose and Marcel. I thought it was really, really touching and beautiful. So thank you, Samita, for having me here. It's really fun to talk about some of my favorite subjects with all of you.
It's such an honor. It's such a pleasure. And speaking of women, we have a little girl in the film and so many questions around that. But before we go on to the film, I'll introduce myself. I am Samita Nandy. I'm the director of the Center for Media and Celebrity Studies, sponsoring the Wall of Fame Film Festival in Lisbon, Portugal. And we are so excited today to feature Life Reborn. And it is a semi-finalist at our film festival. We are in the process of reviewing many submissions coming in. But today, Life Reborn was the first semi-finalist that we screened this year. And this is for next year, but we're already so excited, so we couldn't wait. And when we curate all the films, it doesn't mean a competition. We are so excited to see how they relate to each other. Our main goal is to feature ethical filmmakers and actors as role models beyond the tabloid politics of fame. And we specifically advocate for social justice issues such as human rights, animal rights, environmental sustainability, such as climate change, which is an important issue. But I also believe that a lot of the social change on a collective level, it starts on an individual level, which is what you successfully portrayed, Marcel and Jose, in your film, because you showed a lot of power of dreams and how that connects outwards. And so I wanted to ask, well, many questions, but my first question is this based on a true story or is it something you observed? What inspired you to do this film? Jose, I think the audio is even lower. Um, do you have a microphone?
Yes, can you hear us?
Barely I could hear. Govindini?
I can barely hear them. Maybe they can just move the camera a lot closer to them.
Okay. Do you want to try that? The camera?
And now,
It's very low. Do you have a microphone? A lapel mic?
It's about the story.
Well, that's a bit better.
It's a little better.
Little better. Maybe move it even closer.
You want to try maybe one person at a time closer to the camera?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Here.
A little better, I think.
Okay. It's better now. It's better.
Just a tiny bit. But the louder you are and the closer you are, I think it'll be better.
Okay.
It's difficult when they have a tropical storm going on in the background. That's very
True.
challenging.
That doesn't help, I know. I assume you are in an audio dubbing studio yourself. I mean,
Okay. So, can you hear me better?
little better. Yes.
A little bit better.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll begin with this piece composed for my great friend Giancarlo Castro Dona. That piece called Life Reborn. So in some moment I thought I want to do something with this piece. And well,
So this incident happened, or I just wanted to clarify. Was there a health challenge with either any of your family members or any friend?
no, well, it's fiction.
Okay,
The
okay.
story is fiction.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's fiction. It's fiction, but the inspiration is what happened if you can connect with that universe inside you. So that's the message. That is possible, but maybe when we do something
I think the audio again went lower, but what I got, correct me if I'm wrong, you wanted to look at the possibility, and I'm very, very interested in it because I do believe in the power of the mind, the spirit, and it could make wonders. So is that what you initially wanted to explore, like possibilities?
yes, absolutely. Well, it is the combination between the spirituality with the science. So I thought, well, what can why different for that couple from NASA? Because uh, the normal is that you ride, okay, a trip on a rocket maybe. So, but to the universe outside the planet, the Earth.
Yeah,
So
where we all came from.
yes, of course. So I wrote a different strategy to interpret, outside,
Yes.
out from the screen, okay, inside of you, where that is a great universe. So that's with that universe, that little girl connected, and she found the hope. Okay? So in that moment, I have the script, the beautiful script, um, where the story is more powerful. So in the short film, all begins in a garden. In the future films, all begin in the garden and ends inside a big rocket. It's in a special rocket, but with the same trouble inside. Okay, so that's the message. Is we can find many things, many possible things inside, but
Yeah.
our limits are very big. So no, it's easy because I can do that. I don't have money. I don't have connection. I don't know people. I don't know. But many things
Yeah.
that only are in our mind.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's a very, very good point, to let go and surrender that and I think it's human to have fear and it's very real to have challenges, but we not only have hope, but we have real possibilities, and it's just part of, our our human journey and our overall civilization to navigate, through all these different contested areas. And I'm sure a study has been done too. Govindini, are you aware of any study that has been done on the power of dreams, the power of the mind, and how, especially when we imagine in terms of uh, colors, or let's start with colors because that's in outer space, but basically visualization, how is that scientifically powerful? Do you have any information on that?
Well, I think it's very scientifically powerful. I don't know of any specific studies because I'm not a scientist in that area, but as someone who's again, writer and a filmmaker, there's several things that are interesting here. First of all, I'm really fascinated by the role that imaging has played. Imaging is so important when it comes to space science. In fact, there was some debates in the early days of the space program about whether or not it was even, real science to put cameras on the spacecraft. But they said very early on, no, we need public engagement. We really need to take images of everything we see, even of things like Venus, where we may not necessarily be able to see through to the surface. Like this was the debate in the early days of the Mariner program. But that imaging was so important to show people because,
Yeah.
of course, people want to see what's out there, and it does broaden their horizons. I think back to the 19th century, I read a really wonderful book called The Glass Universe about some of the pioneering women of the Harvard Observatory. And it talked about the amazing role that photography played in transforming astronomy. As a filmmaker, I'm always thinking about how photography transformed the arts, and then how film transformed the arts, the moving image, how that transformed arts and the sciences as well. And part of my interest is I'm a humanist, so I always like things that combine art and science, art and technology, because I don't think people should be so compartmentalized, so divided up into so many specialties that, say, artists are not aware of the sciences and are not, aware of the wonders of the natural world and the natural universe around them. At the same time, I think it's wonderful when scientists and technologists are aware of the arts and the humanities, because without that, I feel that they're missing something as well. So I really like the union of art and science, art and technology, to create a humanistic whole. I think it makes us so much better and more insightful as people. So when you talk about visual imaging and visualization, being able to take a photograph of an astronomical object in the 19th century, or being able to take a photograph from a spacecraft going out toward the solar system, absolutely revolutionized people's understanding of their place, not only in the solar system, but in the universe. And now we're taking images of galaxies, we're taking images, very faint ones, of exoplanets, Earth-like or Jupiter-like or Saturn-like stars around, planets around other stars. And this again is opening up even greater horizons for people. People start to think about, well, can we actually travel to an exoplanet? Could we actually live on an exoplanet? What will it be like for humanity someday to go to, say, Proxima Centauri and visit the Earth-sized planet that's orbiting it, or maybe the planets around TRAPPIST-1, this marvelous star that has 7 Earth-sized worlds around it. It's absolutely revolutionary. And the thing is, it may take hundreds of years, even with much faster propulsion. It may take thousands of years to reach them. But I do think at some point, some fraction of humanity will be able to make that journey. And then we'll have to think about, well, will they be Earthlings anymore, or will they be people of those other worlds? When we go to Mars, we will become the Martians. There's the wonderful in the Martian Chronicles by Ray Bradbury, one of my favorite sci-fi authors ever. In fact, I met Ray Bradbury a number of years ago and got to interview him at his home, and it was really wonderful, so inspiring. He is one of the greatest sci-fi authors ever, and I love everything he does is inspired by love. And at the end of the Martian Chronicles, there's a wonderful short story where it ends with these kids and their family looking their dad says to them, would you like to come see some Martians? The story is so beautifully set up, I can't recap it all here. You have to read it for yourself. But he says, would you like to see some Martians? The kids are like, yes, we'd like to see some Martians. The dad takes them to a canal and tells them to look in, and what they see reflected back are their own faces. And they realize, oh, we're the Martians. And so that's what humanity is going to become. We're going to other planets, other worlds. Our horizons will continue to be further expanded, and we'll become people of those other worlds. The other thing, talking about connection, it's so important. We live in an age of alienation. It's one of the things that worries me a lot about the internet and about social media. And it's why I always like to bring in real science, real art, history, things from other eras, other cultures, people from around the world, always in an effort to create a sense of connection. So one of the really important things in learning about astronomy and about space science is understanding that we are made of star stuff. As Carl Sagan would always so famously say, we are literally, the elements in our bodies literally were forged in the cores of stars over hundreds of millions and billions of years. And that is such an inspiring thing to think of, that when we look at the universe, it's not this alien separate thing. It's actually intimately connected to us, and we are intimately connected to it. So when we learn more about the universe, we're learning more about ourselves. And that's what I think is so beautiful about space science. I just love it. I love looking up in the night sky, looking at the constellations, looking at the planets, and saying, okay, it's not just like something in a film or something, maybe in a scientific paper. I can look up in the night sky and actually see my solar system right in front of me, and I can actually see the galaxy, part of the galaxy, right in front of me. All you need to do is look up. You just have to look up. And that's what I think, bringing it back to the film, that's what's so beautifully depicted by Marcel and José in the film, the sense of connection with the universe and how inspiring that is.
Yeah. And, also when you were talking about the book and this beautiful imagery that came out was, you end up looking at yourself, and our specialization is celebrity culture, and star is used as a metaphor for role models, especially actors who are stars. But really and truly, we want to connect back to the universe where we all came from, right? So it's something really to look up to, the stars, and hence in celebrity culture we called A-list actors and filmmakers stars. But really and truly, we're all made up of the same stardust. And this is such a contrast from the alienation. You know, we don't have to go to outer space to find aliens. I mean, the alienation is happening right now with, you know, a lot of misuse of social media, but also technology has the power to connect us, such as right here. And at the film festival, what we found every time is that we have in-person audience, and at the same time, you know, we are actually like, we're also broadcasted, you know, to the worldwide audience, and we end up looking at ourselves, you know, and it's like the simulated environment where we so deeply connect. So Jose, I have so much to hear from you too. You are the producer of the film. You did such a fantastic piece, and um, any thoughts right now that are coming to you, like after watching the film again, and you know, to hear from Govindini also? Jose, any thoughts?
No, Marcel, Marcel talked the most important about this film and the production because we just shot 2 days. We have 2 days of shooting.
Yes.
2 weeks or 2 days?
No,
2 days.
only 2 days.
2 days.
Only
Okay,
2 days.
wow.
One
Okay.
day was in the garden of a friend where the major action happens, and the another day was here in our studio.
Yeah.
But the challenge was to do that in such little time and with almost no results. So I have to call some friends to give the things that we haven't, and all my friends and all friends of Imatuna in our company were able to help us and to get the results we got with this film. But the most hard part was the first day when we shoot at the garden because uh, we thought we will begin. We began at 9 o'clock. Yes,
9 o'clock.
Night, and we thought we will be shooting there for 4 hours, but we finished early in the morning the next day. So it was a very challenging. It was very hard. It was like a torture test in some ways, but uh, in one part of the shooting, the little girl was sleeping.
Yes.
And we would let her sleep, and we will try to do something because she is very tired. She's a little girl, and she slept almost 2 hours, and then when she wake up, she asked, "Oh, the film is finished." No, 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 no. Now and the parents and the little girl, they were very happy to be a part of this film. Uh, and we have a very good memories of this
Yeah.
work. Very good memories and very good results, even with such little time. Was very helpful. Was very enriching experience.
Yeah, I mean, you shot in 2 days. May I
Okay.
ask how long did it take to complete the film? You know, how long was your post-production phase?
Okay, the issue here is that this film we made for NASA has a contest or a festival, a film festival, and when Marcel came to me and he said, "Well, I have only 16 days, so it's impossible, even if
Yeah.
it's a short metrage film."
Did you really do it in 16 days?
Yes, we did in less days
Yes.
because it's
Oh.
2 days
16 days without script.
without script. Because when he came to me, I said, "No, Marcela, where's the script?" I said, "I don't have script." Marcel, we cannot shoot without script. No, I will do it. I have idea here. And he writes in 2 days you have the
Yes.
script, yeah? And he came
3 days.
3 days. He came to me again. I have the script. I read the script. I love it. Let's do it. And we did. That's the story.
And you edited in less than 16 days? I'm just fascinated because I shot a film last year, the year before I wrote the script. Now it's in post-production, and I feel it's going to be another 6 to 12 months. And I'm having a wonderful time. It's very meditative. I'm like, okay. It's like one. So sometimes it's like one frame a day. No, that's an exaggeration, but
But you have a very,
it's hard.
you have a long metrage film, a feature film.
I aimed for 12 minutes, but it looks like it's gonna be close to half an hour. That's where we're at right now. So,
That's
but there are a lot of specifics, very scripted, but that's a different story. It's just, I guess every film also comes with its own dynamics. I have a huge admiration for filmmakers who cut really fast. We have, all different performances, so competitive. So part of my job, I'm the director also, so I'm like choosing the best performances from the best angles, and it's like we have the same excellent performances from wide shot, medium shot. I mean, I have an idea, but sometimes it takes time, and it's just a beautiful journey, and we continue those journeys, and we're so honored that we're part of your living memories right now. I'm so proud to feature, and this short film is going to be turned into a feature film.
We have a plan with this film to turn into a feature film, but we have but previously we have a project that is called President. President, yes.
Yes, my name is
My
President.
name is President. It's a very very nice project that Marcel writes. He has a script. It's about discrimination of foreigners, because here in Panama, in some ways, we are living that. For instance, Marcel is from Venezuela. A lot of Venezuelan people are coming to us, but
I know I have a friend actually from Venezuela in Panama. Originally, she's from the US. She couldn't join today, but I did mention your film. Yeah, so yeah, go on.
but when you have such a high level of migrants, you have to know that not everyone is good, not everyone is bad. So you have to come to this and approach to this phenomenon or something like that with emotional intelligence, because not everyone will be good, but not everyone will be bad. So you cannot judge them as all foreigners are bad. This is a very, very big mistake in doing so.
No, I observed that in Lisbon. Yes, I know.
I have a lot of friends that are from Venezuela. I
Yeah.
know what is to be an immigrant in other lands. I studied in Ukraine, but sometimes when was holidays, when were holidays, I went to Europe to try to do some job or some work, and it was very hard. And I have another point of view on foreigners. So we have here people from in this film are people from Colombia, Venezuela,
Yeah.
Panama, Ukraine.
USA.
I love
USA.
that. That's one of the things that caught my attention. I mean, the film was the most important. I wanted to watch the film. And today I felt emotional more than ever. You end on such a happy note too. Music is such a powerful, device you use here. But also the multicultural aspect, which is so true, and I feel that's part of the spirituality that you may have in the film. It's like unity, like so much unity, harmony. Is that correct?
That's correct, but there is a part that is very, very was and is very important for us. For the first moment, we knew that our main character must be a girl. Why? Why? Because for me, I have three sisters. I love them. I have wife. I love her. I have nephews. I have a lot of them. But for me, they are very, very important. Very important. And was only one thing was not negotiable. Negotiable. The main character must be a girl. And we thank God we found a very nice girl with a very nice family, and I think that we got all the things we think we must have.
Yes, and this is a movie um, with a feminine skin because that little girl expressed the power of the woman power. So she's dying, but she can take a rocket and go to the goal. Okay, her father is a copilot. It's not a captain. The captain is the girl. So she's perceptive because she can feel the moment, and she can feel the doubt. And in that moment, she tell her father, "Let's go. It's a moment." So this is the that woman value. So the perception.
The perception.
Yes, the perception. So that it's a particular perception that the woman has.
See, this is why I love the panel talks because, of course I noticed, but you touched on, two things. First is female power. I
Yes.
also sense intuition, it's like she is saying this. It's like you heard that, like it's powerful.
Samita, there is something that you just thought. We thought that no one will catch it, but you got it. Why? Because intuition is
Yes.
one of the greatest gifts to women.
Yeah.
We don't have that. I am not sure. Men don't they don't have any intuition. Or maybe a little bit, but the intuition of a man maybe like this, and the woman is so huge. Uh, and another thing very important that in some kind she is like she has a lot of wisdom. Why? Because she feels with this tree the connection that she as a human being, as a woman, has with the entire universe. This is very important for us. This is a spiritual part, and this is the most deep part of this film because it is I can assure that it's a very mature content. Very mature content.
Yes, look, the father connect with this universe and disconnect, but she connect and stay connected.
That's so powerful.
Yes.
It's wonderful. I mean, I'm reminded of the in ancient Egyptian mythology, the sky was actually represented by a goddess, Nut, who would be arched over the earth, which was male. In most mythology, it's the opposite. The earth is female, and it's the sky that's considered to be male. But what you were just saying there reminded me of the fact that in Egypt, there's this wonderful reversal where the sky goddess arching overhead is actually a woman. Also, of course, in Catholicism, Virgin Mary is considered to be the queen of heaven, right? And she's often represented as having stars around her or a blue cape with stars. So I think there's some symbolism there relating many goddess figures to the heavens, or Ishtar, the queen of heaven, right, in ancient Babylonian mythology. So there's always been this wonderful power.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, we choose in specific colors with our art director, Rita Abreu. She worked from USA, and and we did the same with Esteban Rosales. He worked from Chile with that special effects and the graphic lines, and our engineer, sound engineer, Henry Suarez, is from Spain, and she, what all the sound details uh, that this project has, and well, music. So that piece, we call it Life Reborn, that was composed for Giancarlo Caso de Dona in, in the edition. So we worked with the editor. So
He's from Venezuela.
yes,
too,
it's from
Jose
Venezuela.
Hernandez.
And Jose, come on, quickly. No, this is not. No, take this. No, you take this. Take this. So it's a big and intensive work. So, the idea is that express this feeling concept, and that you can perceive that, okay? Because it's a feeling project for me, for us. So this is write this, so this delicate way, because she's a little girl, she's dying, but she's a leader. Yeah,
Yes, yes,
yes,
yes,
she's a leader. Okay, so that was the idea. And in the theater film, it's the same idea. So participate more women. So this
Yeah.
is all that women are leader in the story. Yes, Lucas, her father, has a brother. This is a great relationship between that brothers, and then with the girls, with that little girl too. So participate. Uh, they work in a big, great special organization. So participate the director. It's a woman director with a strong character, so take great decisions to help his father and and, and his daughter to make this trip. So it's for that reason that the story ends inside a big rocket. So with uh, particular characteristic. Uh,
Yeah, it feels real. It's
yes,
real. It's like, how real you would feel, when you watch any film, but also read a book. How reading a book can be so transformative, and it transports you. And of course, the film did justice to that, and just showed so much power, right? And female power in particular, but also human, right?
Yes.
I have a question. It's no right or wrong answer. I'm also very interested in the environment and animals as a part of our universe. You know
Yes.
how do you feel this theme can connect to other species and the environment in general, which is going through so much urgency of climate change right now?
¿Quiere contestar rápido? No se la podría. No, as, as we thought, um, every human being, every um, animal, every species is a part of something huge that we call universe. Uh, if we don't respect even the ants or every living species, I think that you are committing a big violation of what is of what moves like a universe. So the importance of that is that this girl, the main character, got this um, communication, but this very deep spirituality with the universe that it transforms into analogy to tell us, hey, we are not alone, we don't live alone, but we have respect to. And we have to be very grateful for what the universe puts in our lives. That's another message to of the film. Of the film.
Yes, and many things from India we have here. So a great friends, Kundan Kanan.
He's an actor here. He's from India too.
And
Yes, I saw. Yeah.
yes, an executive,
Yeah.
executive producer too, with us. This is a scene from India.
Yes, is that?
Yes, was a Kundan dressing. So
Okay.
yes, it's very important, and for me that to say is that universe, and all participate in the same universe, so we can see, because it's not something obvious. So that little girl, mm, she had that idea, that what is the way to touch that universe, and well, and she did.
And also, your character there, she also had a terminal illness, and that also touches on disability to some extent, right? And sort of contests, ableism that is, challenging, our planet Earth, and just different social practices on our planet Earth. um, but you reversed, her health condition in favor of life, and I do sense the life force that you recognize in all girls, boys, animals, environment, the galaxy. So essentially, the life force does come across, and the ethics around life. Any thoughts on that, Govindini?
Oh, I mean, so many things are going through my mind as Jose and Marcel were talking about their film. I mean, first of all, I think two topics in addition to astronomy and space science that everybody on our planet should learn. They should learn more about biology and also learn more about how life evolved on our Earth. I mean, one of the most amazing books I read recently was called The Story of Earth. And what's mind-blowing is that unicellular life, our Earth is some 4.6 billion years old, and that's just, also that's the age of the solar system. The solar system is obviously slightly older than the Earth. But life may have appeared on Earth within the first 100 million years, which is incredible to think about. And for the first several billion years of life on Earth, it was all unicellular. It was really, and then multicellular life arrived like some, I guess, I know 700-800 million years ago. All of that time, the land was barren. All the life was the seas. And then it was literally only in the last some 500 million years that multicellular life went onto land and propagated. So when we think of dinosaurs and we think of giant forests of the Carboniferous, and we think of all the different creatures on land, that was only in the last 500 million years or so. And then humans only arrived on the Earth, or hominids, in the last 1 or 2 million years. I mean, I might not be exactly correct, the last few million years. So it's mind-blowing to think 4.6 billion years, the majority of that time was unicellular life. Only in the last 500 million years did everything that we see on land arrive. Before that, the land was barren. So it's like life is this incredible miracle. And once it starts to develop, it moves very, very slowly at first, and then it reaches a point at which it just explodes in this plethora of all these wonderful species, all these wonderful forms, all the wonderful diversity we see on the planet today. And the thing that's also sobering about learning about the development of the Earth is that there have been many extinctions and many renewals of life as well. There have been many mass extinctions, whether from giant volcanoes, whether from asteroid impacts, obviously that famously, ended the time of the dinosaurs, except for birds, of course, who are also dinosaurs. They survived to today. There are all these periods of change and renewal where, thousands, millions of species were wiped out, and then a whole new group of species came forward. So the extinction of the dinosaurs meant that actually mammals could survive and eventually grow and flourish, and that is how we humans arrived on this planet many hundreds of millions of years later. And then there's life that we could find on other planets in the solar system or on other moons. There are these ice moons like Europa and Enceladus that have these oceans underneath their icy shells, these globe-spanning oceans where there's more water than all the oceans combined on Earth. And there could be life down there. There's life, we learned back in the 80s and 90s, life around black smoker vents at the bottom of oceans. They're chemotrophs and things that live just off of chemical energy that don't even need sunlight. There's so many forms of life. And that's why when you learn about biology or you learn about the development of life on the planet, it is so incredibly mind-blowing, and it really makes you want to protect the planet all the more. I mean, I already love the planet.
Yes.
I already love biodiversity. I already want to protect, the animals and the plants and everything all around me. Jose, Marcel, Marcel, you're from Venezuela, and I worry a great deal about the fate of the Amazon, for example. But hang on, my battery's getting a little low. I worry a lot about the fate of the Amazon and all the clear cutting that's going on there, because, one acre in the Amazon has thousands of species that are found nowhere else on the planet. And when that's clear cut just for some short-term economic gain of a cattle farm, it is so heartbreaking, because it's like they're getting rid of thousands of species that are first of all valuable in themselves. They're miracles in themselves, but they could also have pharmaceutical cures for major diseases. They could hold scientific advances. There's so much knowledge that is contained in them, and it's just I'm so heartbroken by the fact that they're just destroyed just to make way for a cattle farm. It's so short-sighted. There's more value in preserving biodiversity than there is the short-term advantage of just clear-cutting something and creating some sort of like short-term farm that's going to quickly exhaust the soil and have to move on anyway. It's really not sustainable. So I am very, very concerned about those things. Again, learning about life, the more we learn about biology. Here's the thing that I've always felt as an artist and as a storyteller about learning about the sciences. Learning about science does not reduce my spiritual faith or my religious faith. It actually increases it, because I'm astounded by the miracle of creation. The more I learn about species on Earth, or the more I learn about planets and stars and galaxies in the universe around us, up in the heavens, the more I'm just astonished by the incredible complexity of the real world. It so far outweighs everything that is in science fiction. It's why I love real science, and I love sci-fi too, of course. But it so far exceeds what is even inside the black box of our own minds. I mean, our imaginations are incredible. Our imaginations can travel so much further than our bodies can. We could go to distant galaxies and planets and stars in our imaginations. We can learn about them. We can see scientific images from, say, the Hubble Space Telescope or the James Webb Space Telescope. By the way, JWST is a female lead scientist. We can learn from the Voyager missions about interstellar space. The lead scientist on Voyager now is a woman as well. I just want to mention we have more and more women taking part in space missions, leading space missions, and also, of course, in the Artemis program, which is named after the goddess of the moon, Artemis. We are soon going to have the first woman and the first person of color landing on the moon, which I'm very, very excited about. So the more we learn about those things, we can, by learning about them through our imaginations, absolutely connect with them and be so inspired by them. And we can imaginatively journey to them, even though physically it'll be very unlikely that we'll be able to journey to other stars or other exoplanets around other stars in our lifetimes. I mean, that's something that's hundreds of years or thousands of years in the future. But through our minds, we can journey. But the thing is, we need science to learn about them first. If we didn't have science telling us about exoplanets or about other galaxies, or about, you know, the Big Bang and the origin of the universe, our imaginations wouldn't have as much opportunity to think about those things and have our consciousness expanded by those things. So I love learning more about the world and about the universe and about creation, because the more science we gain, the more amazed I am by it all, and the more it expands our horizons, expands our imaginations, which then spurs us to then want to learn more, fund more science, support more scientific missions, work to better take care of our own planet. All those things, I think, go really hand in hand. One absolutely feeds the other. Art feeds science, science feeds art. I strongly believe in that. And so anyway, that's my take on it. It's why I really enjoy both subjects.
Yes, and Marcel's film has a powerful contribution,
Absolutely.
to all these developments. Marcel, Jose, do you see like how powerful your film is? I mean, it goes back to history, it goes to the future, and I love, the diversity of life and the preservation of life, and the fact that your film has so much power for social change. Do you have any final thought on that? How do you envision your film for social change? Would it be just through screenings, more panel talks? Of course, you have a feature film. Any final thought?
Okay, just one thing. I
Yeah.
was listening Govindini, uh, and we just finished a documentary film, which the main character is a woman too. She's a scientist.
Oh,
She's
wonderful.
from Germany.
Uh-huh.
She's a very amazing woman. First of all, she speaks like 7 languages, including Chinese. Uh, this is just one part. She's a musician, but she's a very very professional and very very big scientist in Germany. And she came to Panama some years ago, and we met. And I was amazed with this woman because she can go with you to the yard and take a little plant, whatever, a little plant, and she can tell you many many interesting things about this little plant. And she discovered a lot of fungi here. And we made a documentary film. It's called Panama Amazing Nature, because Panama is a bridge between North and South
Yes.
America. And Panama is the last country that emerges from the sea through volcanic eruptions, and it changes many things. First of all, it changes um, the climate in Europe, because the current of um, warm waters turn up, and it helps um, Europe that in the north you have another climate, the climate change. But the second one is that this bridge allows species that were in South America
Yep.
cross to North America and vice versa.
Yes.
But
Yes.
many of these species disappear, but many they decide to stay here because we have uh, several levels of territories above sea level. We have from anything to 1 meter to 3,000, 3,000, 3,500 meters. This is the peak of Volcan Baru, and you can find a lot of things. And she decided in this such little country look for things that she cannot find in other big places, because we have such diversity here. And we made a documentary film with her as a major character, and she explains a lot of things. Um, it for me was a very 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 nice and very very nice job, and I have the opportunity to meet with her and with assistants, her assistant that are. And and another part very interesting is that she not just came here to do the research. She helps another students from Panama to go to Germany to improve the knowledge about nature, about fungi, about many other things that has to do with biology.
Wonderful.
So Very well.
Yeah, no, I'm so happy to hear that. And the little experience I had with that was in Costa Rica, and they have scholars, researchers, students, of all ages, just volunteering there and doing the research, also implementing, but very hands-on. Just with the uh, plants or the little animals there, and just a beautiful retreat center where you're actually you are in practice, and so much documentation and archival. And Jose, I sense that this documentary that you are working on, it can be a companion to your film Life Reborn. Do you see that happening?
Maybe I just finished it and we presented it in the University on the province of Cherokee, and we presented here in the Congress of Fuji
Please do, yeah.
some 3 weeks ago, or something 4 weeks ago, or something like that. And we was received with a very, very good comments. But we have something to improve, and we can share it with you too. And
I would be really honored and very happy to see. So proud you are, contributing to, this dialogue with all your fantastic cinematic work. And I believe every voice counts, and you are a living example of change, and really honored to be part of your journey here.
the main job or work, I don't know what word is very more precisely, but nature. What Govindini said some minutes ago. Uh, for many years, millions of years, there were only unicellular living things.
Yeah.
And to transform from unicellular things or living things to an animal, it took a lot of time. But nature is making things that now, every day, and it's as constant that we even didn't um, we didn't even notice that. But nature is working every day, every time, every second, every minute. And maybe this quotidianity that amaze us at the same time that we don't we don't we are not aware of that. But suddenly you look at, oh, there is a tree. I haven't seen this tree uh, before. But this is the powerful job of nature, working constantly every second.
Yeah.
And this is very great. This is like a miracle. It's a miracle.
It's so well said.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. And nature also is so patient and works on such a vast time scale. And I think the most spiritual thing we can do is just to be in awe and humbled by it. And also to think of the wonder of humanity and also human intelligence, but to always just so respect nature and think of the time scale nature works on, millions, billions of years, and the patience. You just have to be in awe of it and just be grateful for your little moment that you're here, and do something good with it. Make the most of it. Do something, as someone of Indian heritage, make sure that you fulfill your role in karma and dharma to contribute something positive to the universe during the time that you're here. But I'm awed by nature all the time, and you put it so well. It's always beautiful things are coming up and growing and blooming all around us every moment, and we really must stop and look at it. Stop and look at it, just appreciate it, and just take in the wonder of it. It's really one of the most, put down the smartphone and just go outside and look at a tree, a leaf, or at night look up at the sky, appreciate the stars and the planets. It's a wonderful thing to do.
Yes.
I would like to
I'll
add
definitely
something.
do that tonight and in the days to come. And I'm discovering more about this land here. So, in close nature. So, one thing I learned, and I'll probably end it here because I could go on and on and on, but I learned at the end of my PhD, the start of another journey, is there's no end to learning.
Yes, yes. Very true. Very true.
Yeah. So much to learn, and I am just so filled with awe and wonder just with your film today. And of course, we have a number of months to go till the final festival, and looking forward to continuing all the discussions, and really thankful, for our panel today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We are very, very happy and very excited to meet such amazing women like you, Samita and Govindini. I won't forget that. Namaste.
Yeah.
Namaste.
And namaste.
Well, such a delight to meet both of you, really, Marcel and Jose. I so enjoyed hearing everything you had to say, and just love seeing your film as well. Really beautiful, touching film, and just best of wishes to you for all your future endeavors. And Samita, thank you so much for this wonderful panel and for your lovely, thoughtful comments and insightful questions. Really, really appreciated having this lovely dialogue with all of you today.
Yes.
Very, very proud and happy too, and I'm looking forward to progress of the films and the film festival, and of course we are in touch and looking forward to celebrating more.
We would like to be in touch with you. We can share our emails.
Yes.
I would like to read some of the books you were talking about, Govindini.
Oh, happy to let you.
It will be enrich my life.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I'm happy to share them with you.
Yes,
Thank you.
it was a great experience in talking about the universe. For some reason, we are here now together talking about the same.
Yeah.
And, well, I don't know. Maybe for some reason, I don't know.
For sure.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was a great experience. Hear your experience, and your opinion, and your perception.
And your expertise too.
Yes, thank you very much.
Oh, really, my pleasure. And again, thank you to Samita for making it possible, bringing us all here together today. And again, this is the nice part of technology. We get to meet people from around the world and have this nice interaction with them. So
I'm happy with this little fraction of the outer space that we have, like our, it's not like the entire galaxy.
Please forgive our
galaxy that we're part of.
And I'm sorry for my bad English.
So sorry for our English limitations. We promise that we'll improve for the next time.
If I had to do a panel in Spanish, I'm sure I would be nowhere near as articulate as both of you. So really, this was, you made yourselves, you communicated everything important.
Yes,
Thank you very
muchas
much.
gracias.
Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Samita, muchas gracias. Govindini, muchas gracias.
Yes, namaskar.
Muchas gracias to you as well, and namaste. And really also such a big thank you to Samita. We've interacted on Instagram, I think, for a couple of years now, so it's so nice to finally talk in person.
Yes,
I'll give a brief plug. I am on Instagram at Tiger Murty, and I'm on YouTube. Govindini at Govindini is my YouTube channel.
Very inspiring.
I will follow you.
Yes.
And I will follow you. But really, this is the wonderful power of film, that we're all able as filmmakers and as storytellers to explore these different subjects. Think of this modern technology that allows us to show the moving image. Well, how amazing that is, that it's only been around, since, I guess, 1880s, 1890s. And here we are, sharing it all.
The science of, moving images, motion picture, right? So lot to look forward to. We'll continue the dialogue over Instagram and YouTube, of course, and looking forward to the coming year.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. We all have exciting projects to look forward to, and look forward to hearing about all of them from all of you. Thank you so much, Samita. Love to meet you, Jose and Marcel. Really, just a delight.
Yes.
That's a delight, and have a wonderful Sunday ahead.
Yes, and
Yes.
asteroid sample return tomorrow from Bennu. Osiris-Rex is landing in the Utah desert tomorrow, so fans of NASA, all fans of NASA, be sure to watch that tomorrow. I'm excited about it. We get an asteroid, a sample of one in our hands. Well, not in my hands, but in scientists' hands, and we'll find out more about the creation of the solar system. So,
Yes.
very cool stuff.
Yeah,
Yes,
very
yes,
cool.
yes, very. Thank
Awesome.
you very much.
Oh, such a pleasure. Lovely to meet you all.
It's really hard to say bye, but we will say, we will end today, and we will continue. It's always very hard to say bye.
Very hard. We could keep going for hours. I mean, too bad we can't all. Someday we'll all meet in person, I'm sure. If you're ever
I'm
in Los
sure.
Angeles, you all have to come and I'll figure out a way to get you all to JPL. How about that? They do have public event tours, so we'll do that. All right, you have to come if you're ever in Los Angeles. Let me know, and I will find a way to get us over to JPL. Okay?
Yes,
Okay.
of course.
Okay,
Perfect.
thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's exciting. Well, I'll
Yeah.
see you next
See you.
time. Yes, and
Thank
have
you.
a wonderful evening and Sunday tomorrow.
Same to you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank
Wonderful evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye-bye.